remaining. Secret has to hold this. Can't let the flank get down. Has to survive for 8 more seconds. But it's going to be Adriella going down. It's only a 1v2 now. It was stopped.
Makes it a 3v2. Oh my god.
He gets traded out for it, but Mine finds Kato. His wild card 1 round away from tying it up. Mine still on a roll. They're about to be face to face. Who will win the gunfight? It'll be Mine for a 4.
And there goes Panda. The coverage from below. Mari sprinting, caught and dead. Aptal's gotta get out of dodge. They take the fight, and Impala wins it out. This time it's a big clutch for Wildcard.
What's up, everyone, and welcome to my favorite time of the week, V. It's woman time. There's been a lot of stuff that happened to create the situation we're currently in, but the game's still happening. We got Wildcard Queens, we got Lycus, Fempire. V, how we feeling?
I'm liking today, but to kind of encapsulate everything for how you and I ended up here, just so we're all on the same page. Some stuff happened with Harmony. There was maybe some, teabagging, shooting bodies. Stuff happened with the admin team. I may or may not have been involved on Twitter, and that got canceled. And suddenly, the Crucible, thank you, Zayshow, picked that up. And now you and I get to cast what is clearly the best 2 women's teams in North America right now.
Yeah, and I think there were actually some European teams in Harmony, too. So
there were. Yes.
They may be the best 2 teams in both regions. We actually do have a European player on Wildcard Queens, Mari, who is, I think she's Danish, and she's currently living in the UK. But yeah, we have both of them now here after a very long season. I think it started a few months ago, because they only have one play day every Saturday. They only have one play day like every Saturday. So it's been a while. We can go ahead and look at, I believe, the bracket. Before this game, Lycus Empire were able to 2-0 a team called Ember Eclipse. Wildcard Queens taking out Big Girls, which I think was the remaining core from admin abuse in the previous season. Of course, was Lycus has already played this game in that semifinal, that winner's final, winning 2-0. Wildcard, of course, though, making that lower bracket run. We're back. We have a rematch, but this time, V, it's a best of 5.
Yeah, but it doesn't look great for Wildcard Queens from the prior match. You see the previous engagements in the group stage, on Cafe, on Sky. Most of it's favored Lycus, bar that one group stage, which was way back, I think, in one of the earlier months. So we're not even talking potentially in the same season, the same balancing. So maybe that'll actually help Wildcard Queens as we get into it. It's difficult to say, because I think once we get into the nitty-gritty of what makes both of these rosters tick, I can start to explain what makes one side work and what makes one side not.
Hey, it's funny, bit of a spoiler. Those maps that we just showed, we're playing 2 of them. So another boon for Lycus Empire. But yeah. We can go ahead and talk about, I believe, Lycus's roster. Lycus, Fempire, Skylar, Mari, Spleech, Panda, and Minnie. Again, the one European player there, Mari, who is, of course, British now that she's moved to the UK. They've had a ton of success so far. As you saw, they are the first seed. This is a BO5 bracket. They got the map advantage as well. So not only are 2 of those 3 maps that we've seen these teams play each other on in play today, but Lycus got to snag one of those immediately before a ban could even come through.
Is Spleech just one of the highest entries in the entire league? I believe having 13 to her name. So that's definitely an eye to keep out on there. Skylar and Minnie are also some really big fraggers. In the previous game up against Wildcard Queens, it was Minnie who actually had a good bit of clutches. We take a look now at Wildcard Queens and that roster full of some familiar faces if you have been around the women's scene. Big fans of mine. I think we have a lot that we can talk about with Mine. She's by far the biggest fragger in the entire women's scene. 148 to 83 and 22 entry kill. There is just a massive gap in between her and a majority of the league.
Yeah, plus 12 on the entry. Mine has ever since she entered the women's scene in Eris, when she teamed with, I think it was Meg, Garbage, Velociraptor, and Kato, I think was her first team. And I actually got to coach that team. And Tessa was like, as soon as I saw Tessa, I was like, oh, you can just do whatever you want. We literally had a strat on Oregon, because women's teams don't really have a lot of variation with their strats. We were like, oh, this team Mavs attic wall every round. Mine, you're going to play Rook. You're just going to play Pit. And you're just going to swing the mine holes every time. And she did. And it worked. Tessa has been, as far as women in the PC community go, Tessa's up there with like Marmalade Goddess, Lauren. Like she's incredibly skilled, and I'm sure she's been doing Rob proud with how she's performed so far in the women's scene. This is, I believe, the incident.
Oh God, yeah, maybe some, yeah. Well, that was the one thing that led to everything. But now you can kind of see some of the fragging power of some of these players as well. That was Mini that I was talking about. This was Cafe. It was a 7-3 as well. More teabagging. I'm gonna preface this entire series by saying you are probably going to see a large amount of teabags. Like, we're going from you are not allowed to do this to it is pretty much encouraged, given everything that we've seen.
Yeah, I would. The players have already talked about doing it literally every single round, shooting bodies.
Just gotta win.
Godly
you can
knife.
teabag. Like,
Godly knife every single kill as well. Zay just said vamp. I don't know what that means. I think it might be a Playboy Cardi reference. If word on the street, yeah, if word on the street is correct from what I've heard. Shout out Max. None of you know what that is. Let's go ahead and take a look at the map, because this is going to be incredibly important with these two teams' history. We've already seen Lycus win on 3 different maps. I think one of them being, what was it, Skyscraper, Cafe, and Clubhouse were the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 of those are being played. In fact, we're starting on Skyscraper. That was the freebie that Lycus Fempire got. Wildcard immediately removing... That's not right. I don't think. Sides are wrong. I was about to say, that looks really weird to me. Lycus Fempire being the ones to ban Clubhouse was a little bit odd. I am glad Lair's not there because I still don't really like Lair. And then Wildcard picking Cafe, also odd. A map that they've lost to Lycus Fempire. So the first 4 bans are a little bit interesting. And then heading into the finals, we have Border, Bank, and Consulate. So we've got 3... I wouldn't say small. Border's really small. Cafe and Skyscraper mid-size. And then we're heading into huge maps towards the latter half, which tend to not really be super popular in the women's scene. We're used to seeing a lot of Clubhouse, Oregon and Villa when they were in the map pool, Chalet, Border. They love these tiny maps where you don't have to do a whole lot to set up and get into the building. So I'm interested to see how this map progresses, or how this match progresses, if we end up getting into those later matches, if the tide turns, or if we see completely different playstyles.
Yeah, one would think that the bigger maps like Bank or Consulate are going to favor Wildcard Queens, but you actually have to get there. If we have a repetition of the same type of series we saw in the semifinals, Wildcard Queens aren't going to have a very good time. Skyscraper was a 7-0. I believe we didn't see the sides weren't accurate, so I would think that they would start on defense, given that it was Lycus's map pick. And they didn't get to start on defense the last time they were here, so fingers crossed. They'll get a couple rounds on the board, make it so that their attack, which is by far their weakest side, they struggled with it, even on Cafe, which you said was a surprise that they picked that. And I kind of agree with you, because they struggled with attack on that map. And as we head into Skyscraper, we shall see what the 2 best women's teams in North America and Europe have to offer us.
Heading into Skyscraper now. Lycus Fempire, of course, choosing this. Wildcard Queens start on the defense. Skyscraper has almost always been an incredibly defender-sided map. I mean, it's defender sided in T1. It's defender sided in Element right now, and I'm sure it's going to be defender sided here. So Wildcard Queens looking to run up the score. Blackbeard is our first ban. You do not get to see these ladies play with the new op.
I mean, it's not a surprise. Blackbeard's going to have some pretty good entry sites on Skyscraper, and all he really needs to do is create an engagement where the shield is down when you're not ready for it. I think, was it mine that made the tweet that was like, it's kind of difficult to see whether or not Blackbeard's shield is actually down? Because, all right, when it's up, it's clear. And when it's down, there's like a slight pixelation. You got called cringe. How do you respond to that, by the way?
She's European.
Okay, that
Doesn't
you know
matter.
what? That's valid. That's pretty valid. So, I think Blackbeard getting banned, not a surprise. Everything else, kind of stock standard.
Yeah, Yingazami Fenrir. Fenrir may be the only one that sticks out a little bit, just because he's not quite as good as he used to be, and a lot of teams tend to ban more of like the Valkyrie, Mira here, stuff like that. But Fenrir, never going to be a bad ban, ever. He's incredibly annoying. Primary site, of course, coming out first. T and Karaoke. Best site on the map. And obviously, I just said this to a couple of the newer casters that we saw doing the Element games yesterday, but I'm going to do it anyway. You never talk about op bans during the prep phase. But I'm excited about it because there's Glaz. That's my favorite operator. And I want him to be played.
Yeah, but that could change.
I know! I hope it doesn't. If it doesn't change, they're going to be taking top black, probably. Or through Geisha. Either way. No! I'm going to kill myself.
Absolutely toss.
In-game.
You just got baited.
I forgot I can't say that.
Attackers are moving out to
All good.
locate a bomb and defuse it.
Who's Pajamas 86?
That's Minnie. Minnie.
Okay. Heard. Why did they do that? You know, what was it? Mari asked before this game if she could play on Packer.m80.
That would be very common.
I was like, dude, if you do that, I'm just gonna call you Packer. I'm not gonna remember. Why do players do this to us?
Because they hate us.
I hate them. Anyway.
Hey, women.
Real. Valkyrie not being banned. Cassiopeia, which I'm not going to say every time. We are going to call her Cass. Immediately donning that operator. We have a split take from Lycus Fempire with Minnie entering almost nearly solo by the terrace side. She's got support from Skylar, who began to work on that Geisha wall and has since come off. And watching that terrace repel, there's a flank coming in from Impala. Already on the house stairs. Doesn't look towards the Dokkaebi, though. That is siege timing at its finest, and Spleech gets the opening pick. Another one for her illustrious entry round.
For Lycus Fempire, one thing that we saw Wildcard Queens struggle with was their ability to finish things out. What Lycus Fempire have to do is not be their opponents in this situation. It seems like Woolie's just caught in this corner. Drone has her position, and there really was no other outcome right there. Once you're in that corner, you are set to die. Secret down as well, and this is not a good defense for Wildcard Queens. Skyscraper is defender-sided, letting your opponent get the first round on their attack, which probably will roll over into a couple more rounds, is not a good start to a BO5, a flawless 2, Harrison. It is Lycus who have come to play today.
That beginning to the round with the Legion getting caught off guard immediately. Typically not the guy you want to send on an early flank. Gets caught out. You lose a lot of those goo mines, and Lycus Fempire take advantage. They just walk their way in with confidence and, most importantly, information, and pick off Wildcard Queens one by one. That tends to be how a lot of women's siege goes. Whoever has the upper hand on information and more confidence to walk in wins the gunfight like 9 times out of 10. So Lycus Fempire absolutely setting the tone there.
Yeah, Spleech and Skylar absolutely have the confidence to go for it, especially given their previous record. They started off a lot of rounds with a Lycus Fempire kill, and if Wildcard Queens, which their trade game was also really poor in the previous matchups, aren't ready to immediately fight those wild card attackers, it's going to end up a lot like that first round. Is anybody going to help Mine, who seems to be the person extending over this time? Maybe Secret will push, but having one person roam by themselves feels like a recipe for disaster, because Fempire, they've got the information, they've set up the crossfires, at least in the first round, very, very well, and there's nobody to help that singular player out. So the Valkyrie could be the information to even those odds, but I'm not really counting on it.
And they just had the Valkyrie, and it did not help at all. But speaking of, the run out onto the Terrace Repel does not net a kill. Skylar lives with barely any HP to her name, and now they know Secret's downstairs off the site. That Valkyrie's roaming, but nevertheless, it's Impala this time to get the jump on Spleech, a reversal from what we saw in the previous round. Now hunting for more. Impala almost caught off guard by Mini walking through. Impala tries to re-engage by Cups, and there's the refrag, ending up at 4-4. But hey, you lose Thorn, who's already placed down all her utility for a Dokkaebi. I take that trade any day of the week, but as Mine falls, Lycus Fempire have swung the advantage. Now another kill for Mini.
Might have 2 rounds that end up close to flawless. Gonna be Secret and Cass, both more support-oriented players, with Cass having one of the lower KDs between these two teams. But I'm calling a spade a spade.
Wow. You hate her.
It's just statistics. Oh. She's proving me wrong, clearly. Has 3 smoke canisters in her pocket. There's Secret to fire away. And now it's fully even. And ACOG is going to dink Cass down to about 25 HP and not going to be able to use any of those smoke canisters. It's a little disappointing to see. I would have loved to see her waste some more time, as there is no more utility unless Secret can get the revive, which is completely gone.
Yeah, across the map, trying to protect the case. They know it's down. Despite Lycus Fempire's sight control, they can do nothing without that diffuser. Mari trying to scope out for info, using that Talon Shield, spots the Black Eye, takes it out. Secret now beginning to rotate over by Mezzanine, looking to take these players off guard as they work to recover that diffuser. Now in Mari's hand, the Striker, 1 bullet HP. Secret takes her down with a headshot, now a 1 versus 1. No C4 for Secret to play with. This is going to have to come down to a heads-up gunfight as Mari sneaks her way into T, now hugging that bomb chassis, looking for the angle. Secret reveals her position with the shot through the wall, dancing around, just trying to waste as much time as possible and force Mari to be the one to push. Evades the first couple of shots, but Mari with the kill on the re-engage, and it's a 2-0 for Lycus.
Secret, why are we pushing that without fully ADSing? It's a little disappointing on both sides, I think, that Wildcard Queens, they're still struggling with some of the things that I criticized them in round 2, and Lycus Fempire let the 2 remaining players just have a little bit. Still sleepy there, but it's only round 2. I think it's a bit of a brutal round 2, given that Lycus are on the attack, but it's nowhere near over. That was a much closer round. 1 is a lot less than 5. Harrison, I know how to do basic math, and hopefully, if the trend continues, Wildcard Queens will at least be able to pick up a round, keep their motivation kind of in the ring, and allow some other players like Impala and Bully, who have only 1 kill so far, and Mine, all 3 of them, amazing players, only having 1 kill through 3 rounds. It doesn't bode well, so they gotta wake up quick for the BO5.
At least we've swapped sites now. We're not going to have a 3-peat. I always hate seeing from teams, so I'm glad they're keeping the ball rolling. Still double hard breach being rocked by Lycus Fempire, this time dropping the Mav for an ace from Skylar, a much more versatile flavor of hard breach. Got a couple players working their way on the other side of the map, and a couple starting direct, which makes sense. The ace you're going to use that long hard breach for to open up those sight lines from the other side. The Thermite working on that main office wall. There is a roamer, I believe. That is Mine and Geisha split. Currently getting droned out. They've got the ping. The Legion not going to fall back, though. Pressing the issue instead. They've still got pings. Dokkaebi call comes out for additional info. Mine still not showing herself. There's a pinch coming, though. Mini from the backside, from top black. There's no way Mine gets out of here alive unless she can take 3 with her. The first engagement comes through, and she's unsuccessful. Mini with yet another opening pick, and Lycus Fempire with another man advantage.
What can you do there? Like, you are dead. You have, I think it was 3 players pushing as well. Skylar with her as well. And I believe that's Booley hiding out in Shrine, who's so far away. Seems almost like a free pick for Lycus Fempire. Booley really needs to get this kill. The C4 goes out. Won't connect. Player's just a bit too far away. And there's the trade. That's going to be Secret killing Panda. So halfway through the round and...
Oh!
What? Okay.
I'd be pissed. I would be fuming. The mid-reload, 1 bullet hip-fire headshot.
Lady luck on Fempire's side today.
At the very least, though, Secret, who was hiding top black, has found 2 kills on the flank and is the only reason Wildcard Queens are still in this round. Cass trying to take the fight with the SMG-12, but the recoil is too much, and the shotgun not going to work at that range. They know exactly where Secret is coming from, and Spleech will prevent any more damage being done by that Valkyrie. It is a 3-0 attacking start for Lycus.
So where do you go from here, Harrison? The Skyscraper. Let your opponent get 3 attacks. I think, like, you got to call a timeout here. I think you've got 1 per map.
Yeah.
There's no better time to use it, and things are clearly going wrong with just every part. Like, entry to the mid game to the late game. I think there needs to be some sort of mental reset for this team, because this just doesn't seem like the Wildcard Queens that we have seen in games prior.
I'm thinking maybe it's just a map diff. Skyscraper clearly not comfortable for Wildcard Queens. I didn't even scroll back the when we started doing the map bans in the chat. When Lycus Fempire, who again is a best of 5 with a map advantage, they were able to just pick a free map. It was Spleech said we picked Sky first, and Mine immediately replied, "So what if I killed myself?" So I think this might just be a map diff.
Yeah.
And this is just, you know, a symptom or a result of the BO5 map advantage. So Wildcard Queens, honestly, if I'm Wildcard Queens, I still try my damnedest to win the map. If I lose, I don't care. We've still got 2 other maps. We still got a decider that we hopefully know how to play. And what is it? Was it Lycan that always said, when you're playing a best of 3, and if this applies for best of 5s too, the only maps you should plan on winning are your map and the decider. If you win your opponent's map, great. If you lose it, who cares? Win your own.
It's about to play it, though. That's the thing. It's on view.
Yeah, it's about not getting chalk.
For everybody to see. So you don't look. The Impala sees the laser. Yeah, don't go for it. That's not going to end well. But so far, the player isn't dead. That's a bonus for Wildcard Queens. I think. Where's the extension? You got Secret underneath, but they've seemed to acquiesce a little bit over from Geisha and from T, mostly playing the first floor and on site itself, which I personally like. I think the previous rounds, Lycus Fempire have just snuffed out the player so quickly that you might as well not have anybody there, and that's clearly what they are doing here. But Impala trying to push this Fempire team back in some way. Bully down again. 0-4, no C4s. Now, see if Impala can actually find a couple kills. The phone in her pocket starts to ring. She will not get a kill.
Late refrag onto Mari, but yeah, Spleech and Skylar pushing their way through with 2 kills. 1 on each side of the bomb site, leaving it all up to Mine and Secret. 2 versus 4, Spleech low HP finished off. Mine gets a second, shutting down Mini, but instantly refragged as Skylar takes the space. Secret is off site! Secret's going for a flank when the attackers already had Dragon and Terrace control. This is far too late. The plant will be completed by Panda, and now it's a post plant for Secret to try and work her way out of. She's got to rotate back in. She's got 2 ways in through VIP. Flashes start to come out. I'm not sure if Lycus have any info, but they likely are now starting to hear Secret make her way onto that bomb site. making sure there's no one downstairs. Both players up here with her. Panda has evacuated the bomb site. It's just Skylar here that she needs to win the one first on, but does not check her corners. Panda not helping her teammate, but she doesn't need to. Skylar, despite missing the first couple shots, ends up getting the kill anyway. And Secret leaving her teammate there in the 2v4. Never want to leave your site player alone.
That was mainly Secret's goal throughout the entire round, I think. Was over in the first floor, and it seemed that she was trying to creep her way slowly up and only got to T and Karaoke when all the players inside of the site had actually fallen. It's just a bit of timing issues. Secret, I think, being the quote-unquote roamer here, probably for the best. She's the only one on the entire team who actually has a positive KD. Everyone else is just kind of suffering in silence. Seeing Minnie, Mari, Skylar walk their way in and claim bodies. There's only so many ways that I can kind of summarize a brutal beatdown by Fempire. It's expected. We literally discussed this last round. Just seems like Wildcard Queens don't really know their way around this map, and Fempire clearly have an advantage. So, could see a 7-0, probably will. Not going to be the most surprising thing. So, we'll have to look to the second map, which that one will be Wildcard Queens map pick, and then we can start to criticize them for their play, I think, a little bit more.
And there have been a couple decent rounds from Wildcard that they've not been able to finish out. Like, again, that round, was it round 2, the retry of T when Cassiopeia and Secret were in that 2v2, but Secret was trying to guard the case. Cass was still on the site and peeks right into the angle attempting to take instead of just holding firm or falling back to play the 2v2 with Secret. And then that round, Mine is in the perfect position to stop that initial entry, gets 2 picks, but where's Secret? She's across the map instead of playing the 2v4 on site. If she was inside office playing with Mine, that refrag might not have happened, and then they have the 2v1. So, Wildcard teams, not only do they just look like they don't super understand the map, it's also been lackluster team play so far. And Mari, who I believe just got another opening pick onto Bully. There's a follow-up from Minnie onto Impala, and yet again, a poor start for Wildcard.
Mine got a quick 2K in the previous. Now gets her third, so it seems like Mine has definitely warmed up. She's ready to fire. Her Cassiopeia doesn't have the C4, was most recently used as you heard that explosion. Now they just have to wait for Lycus Fempire, which Lycus Fempire seem fine to do. In a lot of these rounds, they actually wait for Wildcard Queens to take these engagements. That is why Bully is dying in the first 45 seconds because she takes the peak. It's why you're seeing Impala, who just has to wait by Pete, try to save her life. Fempire are winning these engagements and waiting for Queens to make those mistakes, which they are. And we have said that over and over again. The Queens have fallen back a little bit. They actually haven't peaked. It's mainly just firing back, keeping the at least the pressure on this team. There is Mine now equal in KD. Has taken one down, makes it a 3v2, 30 seconds left, and if Cass can just survive, there might be a round waiting around the corner.
But nope. Cass re-engages Restaurant. Spleech rips her head right off. Mine now 1 HP. They know exactly where she's at. Over back towards Kitchen. Plant now going down. Relatively safe from Panda, way behind that first table. Now being completed. Again, Mine with such little HP. This 1v3 not very likely. She lands a great headshot on the Spleech with both attackers now evacuating the bomb site and going upstairs where they have Vert on this case. And time is ticking. About 20 seconds left for Mine to get both of these kills and start defusing that case. She likely heard that Vert being created. She knows she has to retake upstairs. The pre-fire from the LMG gives away the position of the gridlock. Mine now hunting, knows she's prone, but Skylar lands the shot anyway. 5-0 now for Lycus.
Good to see Mine there. I like actually seeing her start to get some kills and some good ones at that, but right before I kind of threw to you, I was like, hey, if Cass can just stay here, kind of hold down the fort, I think they've got a shot. And she didn't. Why are we taking that, Harrison? You've got no HP. It's the SMG-11 versus a red-hot Lycus Fempire, especially Spleech, who was 6-5-2 at the time. They're taking these fights that they don't need to. They're the defense. They have the sixth man of the time, which really was starting to put pressure on the attack, and they just don't use it. They're playing a bit of FFA here with a 10-minute timer, not realizing that they can force this attacking team into uncomfortable positions due to that ticking clock.
We'll try T one more time. None of these sites have worked so far. This will be their third attempt now. At least they have a very different lineup. They're rocking Ella and Capcan, so a little more trap-focused, hoping to catch Lycus Fempire by surprise with how confident they are. Maybe they'll skip a step, walk into a Capcan trap or something. Flores and Iana also being brought, so they've got some extra info from the Gemini clone. You've got some more destructibility for the shield brought by the Ella, maybe the bulletproof from Jaeger thanks to Mari. Exothermic charge going out on the VIP wall, Secret playing right underneath it. Looks like she's replaced her C4. I'm not quite sure where. It's likely to try and aid Impala. Could be under that sword window. Impala playing close to it. Maybe waiting for the sound call that they jump in. Now the other wall by Office being opened up by the Thermite. Drones on Impala. A player outside that breach almost able to catch her, but ducks underneath the table just in time. C4 now ripped. Lycus hear it. Starting to back off, but now starting to re-engage. Impala, if you throw it now, you could get two, but no, they back off once again. It was a bait, and Impala dead to Spleech.
A little bit of mind game chess there. Baiting it out with the C4, the flashbang. Lycus Fempire ends up on top. Well, I'm taking a little bit of damage from Spleech. There's another drone. The information that you talked about all the way back in round one. Spleech with another 8 and 3, and Skylar will actually clean up. Gets a bit of the trade onto Spleech, but they can just revive her right then, make it a 5v2. And just like we saw in round 2, when it was Secret in the 1v1, Cass and her trying to make a bit of a comeback, un-ADSing, but the flash actually shuts her down, and Skylar Prones gets the kill, leaving Secret in the 1v5, and, well, that whiff he's not off to a good start.
Look, guys, Secret's on the flank. Yeah. You're gonna lose this. Oh. Yeah. Well, there's Spleech. 3 kills for Spleech. A flawless end to a flawless half. Spleech with, I believe that was 3 kills on the round, and
Yes. Skylar for 2.
well, this map might be over.
It's not looking amazing, Harrison. I'm gonna admit it. I think there's a lot left to be desired with Skyscraper. I think Wildcard Queens know that. Just kind of accepting their fate, lying down, and letting this team walk over them. I do have to wonder, are they going to keep this style of play going into map 2? On Cafe, instead of extending horizontally, that's the word, they are probably going to extend vertically, which I think should actually help their style of play. So instead, they'll have Impala on that 3rd floor, hopefully with somebody with her, but if not, she has the ability to vacate a lot of these hatches that are around the map, go potentially across that bar, like balcony area, all the way down to cave. I think that might help them. I'm trying to theorize how this team could get themselves out of a big deficit and keep themselves out of one going into the second map.
Yeah, again, like we discussed earlier, losing your opponent's map pick, not a big deal. The key is to keep yourself mentally in it for the rest of the game. So, Wildcard Queens basically have to pretend like this map never happened. Like they're just starting with like the old BO5 rules. Remember, like for SI, you would just start with a map win. That's what they have to treat it like. Like they never even played it.
I think that's. I don't know if that was originally supposed to happen with the rules of Project Harmony. Kind of funny. It's like, oh, we'll play it out, see what happens.
Yeah, I hope
We
not.
could have had
Free
a map win,
wins
and
sucks.
nothing would have changed. I think
hate
maybe Wildcard Queens could have started a bit better. But...
Smoke comes out at the 2-minute mark from Mari. Wildcard funnel their way in downstairs. Be looking to walk up black. And I don't know why they thought that would work. I mean, at the very least, they get a kill through the vert, but Mari literally just threw a smoke from there. Mine does, I guess, I would assume walk in top black and just fry her? Was no one watching? No one was watching the cross as Mari started to fight below. Speaking of below, Skylar now working her way down, but they've got pings. Impala with a huge whiff, but recovers with the pistol. And for the first time this game, Wildcard Queens have a man advantage, but it's short-lived. Impala takes it right back with her 3rd kill of the round. The Lycus have recovered. Spleech in the 1 versus 2. Seems like she knows one is Geisha, and Impala just getting the kill on her teammate from Wave Stairs. Spleech well positioned right by the doorway into the bomb site, but doesn't really have a good fallback because of these feet holes if she has to retreat from the fight with Cass. Impala just waiting for her teammate to make a move so they can play together with 40 seconds left. They have plenty of time. If they even want to suss out where Spleech is, they do have a drone, but Impala loses her life. Spleech now in the 1 versus 1, immediately repositioning so that the info is stale and finds Cass through the footholes. A 1v2, 2v4 to finish the game 7-0 for Lycus.
That entire map was just Spleech's playground. It's not shocking that it ended up that way because Spleech was red hot. Nobody had an idea on her position, and I think Impala clearly didn't make the engagement, and it clearly was Spleech pushing forward, throwing the goo mine, and then seeing Impala's position. I kind of wish she would have, maybe went down to the first floor, avoided complete engagement until Cass was there, so it negated any chance that Spleech would have pushed up and gotten the kill, which would have ended up in the 1v1, and Cass against Spleech is not something you ever want to be in, but that map's over. It's done. You move on, completely forget it happened, like you said, and now the real grand final can start. Yeah,
map 1, 7-0. Again, basically like it was a free map advantage, like 2020 SI. If you're wild card, forget it happened. Yeah, that last 2v1 played pretty horribly. I have to say, I don't know why Cass didn't just go in through Geisha. I don't know why Impala didn't back off downstairs, like you said, and just drone. You got 40 seconds. She's clearly not going to be downstairs. At least she shouldn't be downstairs. Secret might have been if she was in that position, but shouldn't be downstairs. But yeah, map 1. Done and dusted. We are going to go to a break, let these players recuperate again, let Wildcard reset mentally, and we will be back with map number 2 after this break. Welcome back as we recap a very swift map number 1v, 7-0, highlighted by a 2v4 clutch at the very end.
We gotta talk about the map. What can we say about the map that we haven't already said? We're kind of seeing it right in front of you. Most of these highlights coming from that Lycus Fempire team. So a few good plays, maybe from Mine, from Cass. I think Secret was actually the top fragger on Wildcard Queens, which is not boding well, because this is a team where Impala, Bully, and Mine have led the stats for the entire league, and Bully going 0-7, I believe it was.
Yes.
Kind of sets the tone for how everything happened in that first map. But everything is done with map 1. We move on to Cafe as our second map. This one was Wildcard Queen's pick. They did play it previously in the semi-final. I believe it was a 7-3, and only one wildcard attack was successful. And I can kind of get into the nitty-gritty of things a bit later, because there is a lot to talk about with what went right and what went wrong.
I'm trying to see if it was right. 7-3. Yeah, 5-1 defensive half for Lycus Fempire, and guess what? Lycus Fempire are starting defense once again. Now, again, Wildcard Queens, they got 7-0'd, but it's not like none of the rounds were close. They had a couple very good opportunities to win, twice on the defense, and that last attack, it started out pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, Secret kind of threw her life away on the black stairs, but they got the refrag through Vert. Mine was able to walk in and take top black. They had a 4v2. They just could not pin down those last two players. And again, the biggest issue towards the end of those rounds, of those winnable rounds, was just no team play. Either someone was taking way too long to relink with the other, someone was playing out of position. You have, Secret was across the map in that 1-1v2 that they lost on the defense. A lot of mispositioning. I don't know if it stems from miscommunication or just a lack of map awareness. We talked about that this might just be a map diff. Hopefully it gets better here on Cafe.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news. That is exactly what I saw looking at the semifinals for Wildcard's attack. Is those exact issues. They would start like 5-3. I think their first two attacks actually started out 5-3, and they lost them. So it's been a week. It's been a very chaotic week, but time has passed since then. Scrims have been played. I'm assuming strats have been gone over, and fingers crossed, Wildcard Queens, at least on Cafe and beyond, have adapted. A Grim ban. And that is Lycus Fempire doing it. I don't know if we've really ever seen a Grim ban. Back in the days when he was the worst operator in the entire game, to getting banned in the grand final.
I mean, he's good.
Yeah,
Really good on Cafe.
I don't know if he's ban worthy though.
Yeah, it depends on how Lycus plan to play here. Grim is incredibly good at flushing out power positions, like the VIP shield, Pixel, inner freezer, cocktail, back reading, like that laundry rotate, train, etc. There's a lot of power positions. So I would expect Lycus to play a lot of death spots. However, in the first round, they haven't really brought any operators to do such. So I'm interested to see how this Grim ban ends up panning out. I saw the Valkyrie ban finally coming through. Wildcard Queen's Secret asking her teammates if they don't like her Valk. I didn't like her Valk, and I'm just a spectator, so understandable ban from Wildcard. Also, just a very good ban on Cafe.
I think, with Secret being one of the best fraggers, if you can completely negate that. I mean, granted, Warden exists, but Valk, you kind of just take a comfort out of it. There goes, the deagle. There goes the information that is so important for both of these teams. gone and off the board. We saw a couple changes on the attack, going from a pally on over to a sledge and a gridlock. A lot of anti-roam. You've got both those, the Nomad and the gridlock, and the 2 claymores in Mine's pocket. So they are most likely wanting to get on that second floor and cut off certain areas, especially if they can use the windows, because that is something that Wildcard Queens did a lot of in their semifinal, was use those windows to create good crossfires to just completely negate that Lycus Fempire roam, and especially who's playing on that pixel shield. I don't know who exactly that was, whether it was Skylar or Mini, but either way, the Queen's doing a bit of the information game, a lot of droning, a lot of setup, or will eventually be their attack. But it take a lot of time, and that might eventually be their downfall.
Now, what Lycus have not brought is support for those shields. They don't have any anti-projectile operators, no Wamai, no Jaeger. But the nades already being wasted by Cass. She has no more, so if they want to get rid of this shield, it's going to come down to Secret and one of her impact grenades. Cass did take a little bit of damage from that free fire from Skylar on that window. I believe that Secret, who's in Cigar right now, and she'll have to contest with both this shield and the player on Pixel, who's currently fighting Cass on the rappel. Are we going to get aggressive, take a more aggressive stance here in Pixel? More than half the round has expired, V, and we have seen little to no movement.
Pretty emblematic of this team. They're going to rely on a lot of these entries, but even if they get the entries, they have to focus then on the site, and that entry isn't going to happen. It's Mari onto Mine, and yet still, the clock is going to tick. Their Secret for the trade on that Zofia, and only now are we seeing a lot of the Queens actually get inside of the building and start to use that utility, but the only thing they can use is really going to be that sledgehammer. All of the gridlock track stingers, the air jabs are just to negate any attempts at rotating from Fempire. See if the sledgehammer can get anything done, but Panda is just sitting nice and easy on these stairs, and Speech still has that C4. There needs to be another kill from Queens if they want to feel a bit more comfortable before actually engaging.
It makes you think, why did that entry not happen earlier? We did not see a whole lot of movement from the defense, but Wildcard Queens just took so long. Now they're going to have to go in for a 10-second execute. Like you said, against C4s and against the shotgun of Panda holding the stairs. Bully down, one pump. Cass getting the plant down with Secret. Another kill, looking towards the laundry rotate. Ends up getting finished off. The plant is completed, but everyone on Wildcard has been finished off. Mini with a huge flank through pillar to get the final 2, and Lycus Fempire start 1-0.
Oh boy. Why go to Cafe? Played this team here prior, didn't do well on it, and you're immediately going to play this after a map that you know you would not do good on, and is literally the worst outcome in the game. That result from Queens in the first round, they had a bit of an advantage going into that actual execution, but because they took so long, that advantage didn't really mean much. It's just so normal for them. It takes so long to get their drones in and engage off of that information, so they just rely on Fempire making these peaks and pushing these aggressive angles. But Fempire have been winning those on Skyscraper. They've won it in the first round on Cafe. The strategy of which this team is relying upon is not a good strategy. Things are definitely going to change, and here is where we could see the new season start to rear its head and maybe help this team. See Secret swapping onto the Blackbeard. He is a fast and he is a violent entry. There is no way you can really play him without directly facing the enemy and getting into the building. It's a good change, and I like it.
Yeah, the new Blackbeard has been used quite effectively by a couple teams in E4. I think the best being, honestly, the best being JJ's team, Fluffy Aimers, with Recited on that Blackbeard, and we've also seen some incredible Blackbeard play from Rival on Joe's team on TSG. A lot of it being an aggressive initial entry, and once you have that control, just being a force of nature, almost like playing like a Monty, right? Stand there, stare at the defender, taunt them for not being able to do anything about you, call out their position, and then if they turn their back or give you an opportunity, only then do you ADS. Blackbeard does have an automatic rifle, but you still want to play passive as that shield because that ADS time is still just as slow as if you were someone like Monty or Blitz. See how Secret ends up playing. There's free top floor control for Wildcard Queens. Lycus not really contesting it at all, but they are playing these power positions. They've got both Wamai, they've got the shield and the Warden. This is where that Grim ban is going to come through.
A lot of damage done onto Secret. Took out the 3, then countered the remaining 2, and great communication. Spleech explodes Impala from down below. And now, it got good time. You have to give it to them. The Blackbeard and the drones have really allowed them to actually utilize the buck with a great amount of time remaining. Will they actually be able to get anything from it is the question. They have the 2 frag grenades, have a Selma and the 2 remaining frag grenades in Secret's pocket as well. So you can't say that they don't have tools to break open the lock that Fempire has on this site. Time is really only going to tell, and I think Secret is going to be the one to lead the charge, you would think, as this Queen team does seem a little split. That makes me worry.
Yeah, she's alone right now, but Cass coming in to rotate. Mine does get the equalizer on Mini. The Wamai is dead, but this late into the round, all her utility is already out. Biggest concerning thing is, just like the last round, Wildcard Queens just took way too long to do anything. They were given both of the top 2 floors for free and only started bucking until like the minute 20 mark. Blackbeard attempting to rush through, but there's a shotgun, and shooting his feet is going to light him up and take him out since he was already damaged from that Capcan trap. Another body falls. It's Mine and Bully with, guess what? 10 seconds left to make an execute happen. Mine falls on the other side. Bully's alone. Skylar has retaken upstairs, and from above, the final kill will come through. 2-0 Lycus.
Man, if only there was, like... They should make a thing where it's, like, an explosive you can hold in your hand. Like, I don't know, maybe it's, like, pin activated. Like, you pull the pin, and you can, like, throw it, and then it can, like, destroy shields and stuff. Idea for the devs. I think that would be super helpful. Oh, it's frag grenade. They had 4 frag grenades in their pocket, Harrison, and there was a shield in VIP. That was clearly the problem. And so instead of exploding the shield, Secret just rushed it. And not even really with anybody behind her. It was just Secret, which led to the shotgun. They are confusing me because I know the potential that this team has. And yet they're just not showing. They're holding angles. They're running at the enemy. They're droning but not following up on it. It's confusing and it's frustrating because this team has contended with Fempire in the past. They are technically 1-1 together because Queens won in the regular season. But either Fempire has made some adaptations that are just stumping the heck out of Queens, or have simply grown beyond the team that they were. Because so far, even on this map too, they look so much better than the Wildcard Queens.
I think Secret did have Cass behind her. She just got immediately shotgun, and then when Secret got... I don't think it mattered, because once she got shotgunned, there was another player Whiskey Door, and Kazra had to deal with 2 angles. You know, she did have someone behind her. Yay! It didn't matter because they didn't do any other clearing. Ooh. And we have a rush! We have a Heaven Rush through Skylight as well, and Paulo with the Amaru is going to be the first player in. Shotgun out, unable to kill the Warden in one shot. Her teammate is already dead. Another one falls. She's now gone. Bully and Mine, the last 2 alive. Another player in Heaven. That's Mine. Makes it a 2v3, but Spleech down below, gets the angle from Pillar, and this rush, it has not worked out, to say the least. Bully somehow fires herself. It looked like she had enough room, but I guess the hitbox of the Capital Bolt, slightly larger than she had expected. I respect the attempt, Wildcard going for something completely different there, but the C4 potential from Lycus was too great. the refrag potential as they fell back onto the bomb site. They've been outgunning Wildcard every step of the way throughout this match so far, and this round, no exception.
Currently, Bully has not gotten a single kill in the entire series so far. She went 0-7 in the first one, is now 0-2. Got a minute 14 to either complete this 1v3 or maybe continue the drought that she has. But it's just Lycus Fempire winning gunfights. That's all they really need to do. They haven't had to, you know, force Wildcard Queens to drain all this utility because Queens aren't even draining the utility to begin with. They're simply just trying to run at the enemy, in this case, zip up to the enemy and get a couple kills, but that's Fuser all the way back in sight. Really stuck on a pile of ice. Now peeking the Pixel Shield, takes a bit of damage, reloads. We're waiting until the end here, till the clock strikes midnight. That's exactly what's going to happen. Fempire with the clean site sweep, and they get to begin again on reading next round.
Well, there's not a whole lot of good things that we've seen from Wildcard. It's been a lot of lost gunfights, just straight up 1v1s. Wildcard have been winning them.
Attackers need to locate.
A lot of time being wasted by Wildcard Queens, despite being afforded so much free control. They just take forever to do anything with it, like we saw in round 2. Round 1, they saw the very forward setup from Lycus Fempire and just looked stumped. They didn't know what pieces to put where. They never cleared the shield and freezer. The solution ended up just being to walk at it and trade out when they had both nades and the Zoe. The nades instead were used uselessly by the freezer rotate. And the Zoe, I don't even think Secret ended up using her utility at all. He just walked in and killed 2 people. Now we're back on reading. Lycus Fempire with not the same setup, but similar. They've got plenty of people upstairs. They don't have that forward shield and freezer. They're playing much farther back. This player in Pillar is probably just going to look to waste time, and then as soon as that shield gets destroyed, immediately fall back. But Spleech going for something aggressive, not able to find it. Mari is the one tasked with holding said shield, but no Amai, no Jaeger again. Like we saw in round 1, it's so easy, at least it should be, for Wildcard to destroy this shield in 20 seconds, and they haven't been doing it. The nades are on the other side of the map. Impala does have a set as well. Hopefully someone just chucks one at the shield and forces Mari back so they can take control.
I'm keeping like a mental clock of how long that is gonna take. I'm assuming, yeah, it is still up. So 2 minutes in, they thrown it out. They know nobody is there. Okay, we're in. Now, see that nobody is there. Is the shield destroyed, and are we pushing forward?
At this point,
very slowly.
I'm actually really glad that they're pushed up, because at this point, like, now that you've taken the control, you don't even need to waste utility to destroy the shield. However, mine dry peaks before the drone confirms there's a player pallets, and thus Ash is dead. Mari burning away more time, using those Zoto canisters to slow down the push from the attack. Skylar, a follow-up kill. Finally, Secret gets on the board for her team. Minnie's dead. That is the smoke. That's a great pick to have, but then Bully, after seeing Mari vault, ignores White Stairs. And of course, with the way Lycus are playing, they're going to reaggress. A bad decision from Bully, now 0-11 across the first 11 rounds of this game. Cass and Secret find themselves in yet another clutch scenario. There's only a minute left. Cass maybe can go to work with this sledgehammer, but she's so paranoid about these flanks because so little info has been gathered by Wildcard. The drone game has been atrocious so far. Secret, I think, she was on the first floor, I think, when she got that kill on a Mini. Either that or it was through the first. She's now relinked with Cass. The sledgehammer, now, after staring at the flank for 20 seconds, is now going to work. Just searching, fishing for any semblance of a kill. but she's just opened the holes and walked away. Maybe it's a bait, but in pillar, fight taken by Spleech, a rare whiff from the Resident Mozzie player. Now with 18 seconds, Kaz gets another. It's a 2 versus 2. Case is in the hands of the Sledge, but they're both so low. A C4 from Panda could end the round, but gets killed by Secret. This is the most winnable round we've seen from Wildcard so far. It's just down to Skylar with both her opponents at 1 HP, but Secret staring at the damn ceiling. Thank the Lord. Cass has the refrag, and Wildcard Queens are on the board.
Oh, okay. First round, round 4 of map 2. Probably should have lost that as well. It's the same issues that we had. Like, if Spleech wins that, the round is over. There's a lot of odd plays all around, but Wildcard Queen still had the same issue of, okay, this round is winnable, but there's 15 seconds left. So you're having to rush in, you don't have information, which led to the players staring at the ceiling because there's just nothing there. And Cass is still doing more. Despite I kind of, knocked her at the beginning, just stating the stats for the group stage. She is one of the better performing players on this team so far. I want to say she has been decently consistent. When asked to actually get the meaningful kills, she does. In that instance, if she wins that fight, they win the round. She does. Wildcard Queens get the first time on the board. It's something. That's all you really need is something. And we can finally say at least a positive thing about Wildcard Queens. Is that they won the round.
I'm so happy. You gotta give it up. Not only did Cass get that really important pick to make it a 2v2, if Secret doesn't kill Panda there through the laundry rotate, I think it was the laundry rotate or the laundry wall, that C4 ends the round. I mean, they're both 1 HP. You smack that right in the middle, it's over. So, I think that was Secret with 3, Cass with 2, a 2v4 for the 2 top performers so far for this team. Fortunately, Bully is still 0-11. So now that we're not on double 7-0 watch, we're on Bully kill watch. Eventually she'll get one. Finally, the nade coming out. Impala used her utility. There's no Wamire Jaeger once again. The shield is down in less than a minute. This is a new record.
So condescending, Harrison. Like, we're kind of celebrating that we got the shield within a decent amount of time too.
Baby steps.
Yeah.
Baby steps.
Bully's got a good angle, at least keeping the player back.
This is crazy. Angled? Is that the angled grip?
I don't know, but
or horizontal grip.
More bullets you can spray at the enemy, keep them away. There's the Mira. Has the C4 not in her pocket, already utilized, but clearly ready for the engagement. That shotgun was the Blackbeard's death last time, but a minute 15, you've already pushed out the players from this top floor. One would think that now you can utilize the shields. You've got concussions inside of Sophia, impacts, Ash charges as well. They're Secret for the entry. Can this go any better for this team?
Oh!
Yes, it can. There's Mari down. It's looking so good, but as I say that, it's equalized with 50 seconds left.
The Blackbeard, though, getting so aggressive, taking one fight, but does not look towards 90 for the other. Panda refrags. Kaz and Bully against Skylar and Panda. One duo has 12 kills between them, the other has 2. As Bully walks her way through the bomb site, there's a player just on the other side of the door. Cass getting the plant down. Bully meleeing the laundry wall, reveal the location, but this Fenrir just holding still. Plant is completed, and Bully gets cut down. Kaz makes this a 1v1 as Skylar goes down in pillar. And Panda looking for her 4th to give Lycus Empire their 4th. As Kaz rotates away over towards 90. They've got pings, and Panda wins the fight. Lycus Fempire up 4-1 on their defense thanks to the Fenrir.
There's that lack of information. Unfortunately, I kind of talked about Cass, how good she's been, but it wasn't truly an equal 1v1. You saw the information, the general position of Cass. Well, vice versa, Cass just kind of was hoping, ADSing that she could get something done. Another close round that fortunately just slipped through Wildcard Queen's finger. And Panda, who we didn't really see much on Skyscraper simply because wasn't really a need for Panda to do anything. Everybody else was getting the kill. A quad in that round. Keep the distance away from Lycus Fempire. Instead of a 3-2, we could see a chance at a tied halftime. The best that the Queens can get is a 4-2, which still doesn't feel amazing, but then you get to swap on what is clearly their preferred side. It's the majority of the rounds that they got in the semifinal up against Lycus Fempire. And I hate to kind of knock on Bully again, but it just feels like she's not the one droning Harrison. She's the one a lot of the times leading the drone, helping out the player in front of her, and she's just gotta start hitting some of those shots. And I hate just ragging on a player over and over again, but Wildcard Queens are clearly just in a rut, and Bully is a part of it.
From map, well, by the way, I just realized they pinged us a couple minutes ago with the stats from map 1. So Spleech went 12-3. She had a 200 rating, as now she increases that a little bit more with an opening pick onto Impala the Flores of all operators. Have you looked at the stats yet?
I did take a look at them.
Did you see Bully's rating?
I was not going to mention it.
I want everyone in chat right now.
I've done enough hating.
Take a guess at what Bully's rating was on map 1. I'll give you a hint. It's tied with Emilio in E3 for the lowest rating I've ever seen. If you said, out of 100, 3, you would be correct. So, Bully joins Emilio, who, by the way, is now in playoffs for E4 as the lowest rating in a single map that I have ever seen in my life. First nade misses. So this is also a confusing thing. So this is the one site that, as I was literally just about to mention the Wamai, that they play the Wamai on, and the Wamais are not set up to protect this shield. So, like, even in that first attempt at round 2, they could have easily cleared that shield because Wamai was on the opposite side of the map. She ends up getting a kill. Follow up from her teammate. Secret and Cass, once again. Guess what, V? They're in a 2v. They're in a 2v. Why was Cass on the top?
I don't know, but this duo, for some reason, they are just like buddies. Always the ones last alive, which kind of does mean that they're gonna be the ones to get the kills. But Secret has also gotten one of the only entries for Wildcard Queens that happened in the previous round, round 5. And now Cass just kind of spraying through the wall, hoping to get a lucky headshot onto Skylar. She will take down Minnie. So now it's a 2v4. We could see another Secret and Cass wombo combo clutch factor. But Cass has to win this 1v1 up against Skylar, just diving left and right between the train and the wheel. And now Secret and Cass are together to shut down this player. There goes the Vigil, but there's no time remaining on the clock, Harrison.
There's 20 seconds, and Cass is 1 HP, again holding that case. They've got a ping. They know they're coming down Brown. And Cass will be victim to this shotgun in just a second. Spleech removes what little was left of Cass's life. Mari with the finisher. And the Lycus Fempire. We have a repeat of that semifinal match. They start with a 5-1 defensive half.
Would say, you know, that their defense does look a little better, but we saw... Oh, okay, hold on. I can't believe this is the first time we've seen from them.
Real.
They went 7-0 on Skyscraper. They started 0-3 on Cafe. And by then had not used a timeout. 5-1 is not the time to use a timeout. The momentum has already set in. The mental has already set in. I guess it's just adjustments at halftime that they're trying to say, hey, okay, sides are changing. We're going to just slow things down a little bit. I don't like that now you're taking the timeout. I understand why, but I can at least see the reasoning. Because they would have to get 5 rounds in a row to guarantee overtime. And I think if they're going to get 5, just get 6. Like, just complete the 6-0, win the map, have us a game. Because so far,
Attackers need to locate
Queens have
and
only won
defuse bomb.
1 round throughout the entire series so far. And this is their map pick.
Yeah.
This is not, it's not the series so far that I was hoping for. I think we expected that result on map 1, but map 2 has been really, really disappointing.
Yeah, I think it's a decent timeout. I mean, because they have the momentum, but your defensive side should be where you're running up the score anyway. So you just want to make sure
Yeah,
they
but
don't have the momentum heading into the attack.
Lost 10 rounds in a row.
Yeah, I mean, they should have used it earlier, but I feel like it's better to use it now than
10 seconds.
after
That's what I'm saying.
losing
I
with, like,
understand the
your first
reasoning. I don't like it,
defense.
though.
They've also got an interesting operator lineup. So they've got Dolmai and the Warden for the Pixel Shield,
Attackers
whatever.
are moving to
You've also got a
defuse bomb.
Vigil, who I assume is going to be roaming downstairs. You've got a Cade, who's going to be locking the freezer wall, I guess. But Thatcher's also up, so I don't think Cade is very useful in this situation. And you've got Secret on Echo. Secret has flanked almost every defensive round we've seen so far. Successful sometimes, unsuccessful in others. I understand why you'd bring the Echo. I don't know if Secret is the one you want on it. I think a smarter move here, the way that it played out so far, you're losing 5-1, like you need to start being about feeling. And I think you have Pass play the Echo, a much more passive player, one who's usually sticking on that site. Have Secret jump on a flanker. Have Secret jump on Mozzie. You already have the Vigil. Vigil Mozzie combo, roaming downstairs. You got a Boss G and you got a C4. That's perfect. I digress. This is how they want to play it. And already, Lycus Fempire using that utility, trying to get the red wall open. The hatch is open, and they have spotted that Pixel Shield.
Wall is going to get open. You're going to possibly have an entry point to this. I wonder if there's any magnets around. You do see one in front of the chair. And Pass domes Impala in the back of the head. Gets the kill into Spleech, but I mean, that's a trade at best. And you now have to give up that part of the site when you at least could have had Impala damage somebody else. It's Wildcard Queens now at the disadvantage with Mari finding mine.
Apparently shot in the feet somehow. Has also 1 HP. There's a Blackbeard on the board. Lycus Fempire are making really good time. There's a minute left. The more time you execute with, the less powerful this Echo is from Secret. You're maybe banking on the fact that this Pixel bathroom hold was going to waste more time, but like you said, that team kill really ripping away a lot of it. Now Mini supporting the Blackbeard, pushing up fight, take out 1, Secret with another, but 2 for Lycus Fempire, and it is just pure domination. 6-1 lead now.
What can I say? We've seen almost everything that Wildcard has brought today. It's been unenthusiastic. It's been, I want to say, timid. In a way, like, yeah, they're peaking angles, but they don't have the confidence behind
Attackers
them
need to locate
in
and defuse bombs.
a lot of these plays. Secret and Cass, which you're mainly more support-oriented players, are the ones top fragging, which, to be fair, is because they are the players that are going to be left alive, but Impala, Bully, and Mind duoing for 6 kills so far in this map. That is the same amount of kills that Fempire have in the entire series.
And now
They have 16 kills in total, by the way. Like, those 3 players have 16 kills in total the entire series so far.
5 seconds remaining.
Bully is now 0-3.
Attacker's objective is to defuse a bomb.
At least we have a very different strategy here for the retry of Bar. We're going with the old mute in cigar hold. Supported by the Pixel Shield. Jaeger being played rather than Mumai. And probably for this, the bulletproof cam you're seeing from Mine. He's got Cassiopeia playing, I guess, aggressively here on Freezer on the head holes. Like his Fempire, though, they've got Blackbeard, they've got Capitao, they've got a lot of tools for flushing out players. Secret going all the way down to the first 4. Like I said, she's been addicted to flanks, so having her on Mozzie makes a lot more sense than having her on Echo. And speaking of, she gets the first pick. No info as Spleech tries to entry in. Refrag attempt coming out from the Blackbeard, and Secret's just walking around.
Not amazing, because now you give up your 2 BPs. Your opponent, which most likely are going to be probably overlooking Cigar and potentially a piece of cocktail. Don't exactly know where the other ones are, but Secret for Spleech, it's difficult because, like I said, Secret has been their top fragger, but Spleech has been so dominant on the entry. And the Deimos on Cafe, you'll lose the ability to track some of these players, shoot them through the floor. So I'm okay with that, with the way things have been going. But it's everything that happens from here on out that I'm a bit worried about. As Cass is dead. Yeah, no, you're not living through that one, baby girl.
Wow, great use of the nades and the fire to prevent her from moving and just make her a sitting duck. But Mine evens the odds with the kill on Mini. Dokubi now dead. Impala to follow, though. So still a woman advantage for Lycus Fempire. Additional Capitao Ball to force Mine off. She's got to retreat over by White Stairs, which allows Skylar to start getting this plant down after repelling in from heaven. The Warden of Bully caught through the rotate. 0-6-15. Give it up for 0-15. As Mine is now stuck in what was a 1 versus 3. She's got 1 pick, but has to contest with Blackbeard. This is basically almost, I would say, worse than a 1v1 with Monty because of that automatic weapon. Able to get the shield away. I don't know what the hell Skylar was doing there, but Mine unable to land the shots anyways. The Blackbeard exposed her back. She knows Mari's in the other room, but Skylar takes that opportunity as she checks the door to ADS and put Mine out of her misery. Despite the 3 kills, Lycus Fempire still come away with a dominant 7-1 win.
Ow. Because not many words to describe what you're seeing. Brutal, dominant, one side. We're on series map right here. This is 1 round won by Wildcard Queens throughout the first 2 maps, which is not going to be on their own map pick going forward. I don't know how I can explain everything because it has just been so bad for Wildcard Queens. And I feel like Lycus Fempire, they're playing good. They're not playing amazing Siege. They don't need to play amazing Siege. That's the thing, is because Wildcard Queens are just doing so bad that the Fempires look so good by comparison.
Yeah, I mean, at least we had a player go positive this map, with Secret going 9-8. She's really stepped up. Mine, I thought there was going to be hope since she really started to heat up after at the tail end of Skyscraper, but really struggled to find anything going. And this time, right, we talked about Panda, who was like the only player to go negative in the first map. She just went 11-3. She was the MVP of Cafe. So a whole lot going right for Lycus Fempire. Almost nothing going right for Wildcard Queens. We'll see if they can amend their mistakes on another one of their opponent's map picks after this break. Welcome back, everyone, after a marginally longer map 2, I guess. Lycus Fempire now lead 2-0. It was another dominant 7-1. At least Wildcard got on the board, I guess, but it was much of the same from Skyscraper.
Queen's got to be praying to, I don't know, a higher power, something. You see the only round that they have won through the entire series so far was that 1v1 by Cassiopeia. Something's got to change. Like, somebody's got to come in there and give them the Fabian, like, do you guys want to go? I'm not gonna do his accent. I don't know how to do. Was he Danish? Sweet? I don't know. Something European, right?
Sweden.
It basically, they need somebody to get in there, yell at them, get them fired up, because clearly they are not the team that they have been throughout the entire tournament, and even their game previously against Fempire, both of them were not like what we're seeing in front of us.
Yeah, these are, I don't know if, like, was this the day that the finals were supposed to happen in the first place?
Yes, they were.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Lights are too bright, maybe. I don't really know why they would be. Wildcard are just not looking like the same team that we've seen. There's an astonishing lack of both team play and gun skill. The latter, I'm very surprised about, because, you know, we talked about Mine and Seeker were two of the top-rated players in the whole league. Uli is incredible. All 10 people in this lobby can shoot, and can shoot really well. And we're just not seeing it right now. We're seeing, like, one person per map on Wildcard Queens against literally all 5 people on Lycus shooting map. The worst they had last map was 5-5. Panda, who went 1-3 map 1, went 11-3 map 2. Every single person was positive. I think Skylar was 8-5 playing Blackbeard. So it's tough for Wildcard Queens as we now move on to another one of Lycus Fempire's map picks. We're on Border, which leans even more into the gun plays.
Well, here we go. It will either be a wake-up for Wildcard Queens. They have drank 5 5-hour energies. They have accessed the secret 5th hour. Or like, that was still on that promotion badge. That is not my joke. Or we're done here, and we are going to be done with probably the quickest BO5 potentially ever. Like, we have had close to 2 7-0s, and if Lycus Fempire stay the same and Wildcard Queens stay the same, probably another 7-1, 7-0.
Yeah. That would be pretty sad, though. We don't want to be sad. Uli begging the other team for a kill. What again? She's 0-15. I hope she gets on the board. Although, if you were playing, would you rather be like 0-20 or 1-20? I feel like 0-20 is like even more impressive.
I think you're right. Like, it's like you go down in infamy rather than kind of be like a nobody, right?
Yeah.
But he needs. I don't think that's really what you want when you're here. That you are remembered for going.
Yeah.
Would be like if it was 0-7 again, going 0-23 in a grand final.
Yeah, I guess it would be like the argument. Would you rather be the worst ever or just really bad?
Attackers need to locate and defuse
Well,
bombs.
nobody. I don't know if anybody's. Oh, it's definitely you are going to be remembered at least for the first 2 maps. But you could like change that around. Like be like the person who's like, oh, she went 0-15 in the first map, and then went like 10-2, and then there's something crazy. I don't know. That'd be pretty sick too, to be honest.
See, we're gonna start the game on maybe Doku. Lycus Fempire with no Warden this time, interestingly enough, banning the Warden themselves, also banning their own Blackbeard, which Skylar played really well with. So,
Attackers
a little bit
locate
confusing
and
here.
defuse a bomb.
Skylar playing a different shield operator this time on Clash. Wildcard Queens were barely able to deal with a deployable shield until like the last couple rounds of their attack.
Attackers drop
How the hell are they going to tackle a Clash?
They have the Sophia cushions. Got 2 smokes. It's kind of it. I mean, saying impact EMPs are a counter to Clash definitely exists, but you've got to like aim it and then run during the amount of time, of which a Clash is probably going to have some help. So that probably isn't going to be a good counter, as well as Paul already takes some damage. There's the zaps.
Oh, the increasing buffer.
That is brutal, because now Impala actually can't even face tank a lot of these shocks, because eventually that's just gonna keep mounting. Yeah, you see the damage. A great shot onto Spleech, all right. That's a way to start the map, baby, but Bowie might be continuing to go deathless, but Wildcard Queens might match themselves if they don't blow this.
Cass has to get off the plant now thanks to that Clash, and Skylar is just nasty. After a phenomenal start to the round, everything has fallen apart for Wildcard, and Impala is dead to the zaps. Wow. What a recovery. Off a 2K from your Clash player. That is far more than you ever expect from a Clash in a single round.
Yeah. It is an SMG. That's like, all you really need to do is hit some headshots. You know, do a couple body shots. It's not the worst gun in the world, but I think already starting off with a bit more fire is probably the best thing that can happen. A win would have been the best thing, and probably should have happened with, I believe it was a 4v2 before it was Skylar to get that 3K.
Skylar got 3. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, no, it's
Oh, yeah, because she...
pretty nasty.
Yeah, she
Did
shot
they,
2 and then zapped
Zap the other one to death. But
which
I mean,
you also like almost never see.
yeah,
pretty funny.
you zapping through the shield. Does it stack? Like you deal more damage? Or you
No,
zap,
so
or-
it's the same amount of damage every zap, but now like consecutive guard breaks stack on a shield. So like every time you zap the Monty, it does the same damage, but the shield gets moved out of the way more.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that wouldn't really do much when you're just getting zapped by a Clash, but
Yeah, if she's got help, because like before you'd see those standoffs where the Monty just slowly walks at Clash as Clash like expends all her electricity. Yeah, but now you can't do that. Now Clash is actually, I guess, yeah, if you expect a Monty, Clash is actually good now. She's like a proper counter. That's kind of crazy.
yeah, it's I wonder if it's one of
Clash
those things
good?
where just nobody expected. Oh, early engagement. Skylar gets thrown out twice. Only takes a little bit of damage, but I think that's some pressure due to the Surya gauge. So probably just back off, use the hatch. You don't really need to force this engagement, but it's Skylar. Of course she's going to, but if Skylar dies, that makes it a 5v3 thanks to the opening from Cass.
What I do like about this round so far and the previous round, even though they lost it, is it was much faster. We did not see the
yes,
same
very, very good.
super sluggish wildcard that we've seen in the past. Cassiopeia, the next to fall after getting that opening pick. On Damar, you lose Ace for smoke, but remember, this is a bathroom teller's defense. This is just an incredibly long extension from the players on Lycus. Minnie trying to fight CCTV around the doorway. Someone really peeking her. They could very easily get an angle, and they've wasted so much time now as Wildcard are beginning to get sluggish again that the Aruni gate has been popped or reactivated by that mute. Looks like Wildcard, maybe, I was just about to say, maybe starting to give up on this top floor hold, but no one from Lycus is in office. So, Minnie dies for free because the rest of her team has fallen back, and all 3 defenders are in workshop. Secret could literally just drop and plant right now.
It's true, no C4s either. You mainly just have the tuber out canisters, which at this point aren't really going to do much. There's the niche feature of actually seeing the footsteps above. Oh, like it's Fempire. Are they doing a 3-stack up metal? There's Spleech making it a 2v2. Panda with one as well. And Fempire making the bold decision to all rotate at once up the stairs. And now Mine, without the case, is having to go up the stairs and complete a 1v2 within 30 seconds.
An incredible call from Lycus Fempire and Wildcard Queens again with no information. The site was free. The site was the freest I've ever seen it be
Seconds remaining.
in a 4 versus 3. And now Mine with 10 seconds remaining.
Seconds to go.
The Mozzie is just going to dip. Skylar knows that even if Spleech dies here, she can just leave. And the round is unwinnable. Spleech gets the kill anyway. And Lycus Fempire recovering in this round. All 3 bodies were in Workshop. There was no conceivable way for them to stop that plant. All Wildcard had to do was drop the hatch, sit someone in radio, and plant. Because if you plant there behind the half wall, the only spot that you can die from is the hatch. Just have someone hold radio, have your other attacker be maybe in sight with the planter, like behind the soda machine, so that
Attackers
they
need to
can't
locate
cross
and defuse bombs.
from Workshop or across to the site itself. Maybe have on the half wall so you can cover both the rotate and the peaks from Workshop. Actually had 4 people, so you could have done both! And Wildcard did none of it.
Attackers have located a bomb.
You've lost so much that you kind of need to make risky plays. Just to throw something in the mix. Like, if you notice that there doesn't seem to be anybody there, and I wish I could have gone back and, like, looked at the drones, saw how much was left, see if they could have droned out the site, and if they had.
10 seconds to insert.
And yeah, I think the risk factor now carries on into round 3 with what seems like another rush. The previous one, I believe, was in round 3 of Cafe, where
Yes.
they, I think it was Impala who zipped up into New Balk, and just, it fell flat. Nothing happened. You've got an Amaru, Glaz, and Blitz, which was the combo that they ran the last time. And this is a Workshop site. So you're probably going to zip up to Sandwich, but now you've lost Mine. You've lost a player to actually help out your roamers, and all you have to rely on now is just the drones and potentially the Blitz. I'm so deflated after all this. Cass is gonna hop in, hope to get something. She takes a lick of damage, and now goes for the plant.
Wow, this is a bold move. A Secret gets the pick upstairs. Glaz with the coverage through the smoke, cuts down the Azami, attempting to flank the Blitz through main, and Cass gets the plant down. It's working. Secret, another kill upstairs. The Blitz sacrifices her life, but that's okay. Her job is done. And the most important factor, the coverage from the main door, is good for 2 kills, looking for a third. You've also got Secret, who you no longer have Secret upstairs. It's all up to Impala here to cover. Panda doesn't look the right way. Takes a bunch of damage from that DMR, and Impala is good for 3 kills. Wildcard Queens, despite losing the Lion, who is typically a linchpin of these rushes, they end up winning anyway thanks to a 3K from Impala cutting off the main door and Secret denying the verticality.
That's a good one. I liked it. Cass barely sneaked through, like, by the tips of her toes. And Paula did not have to move. Yeah, literally going from one kill to the other. Exact same angle.
Defenders, protect your
Good.
bombs from being
Impala
defused by attackers.
actually making things work mechanically. One of the rare times that we have seen, I think, all of Wildcard Queens show up in the fragging department. And what sucks is Bully still technically doesn't have a kill. She got her one. It's the team kill. But if you've already matched your amount of rounds that you've gotten, it was round 4 in the previous map. Now it's round 3. There's a lot more going for this team. Secret is positive. Impala is positive as well, thanks to the previous round. It does feel like there's a bit of a different energy with this team on this map, and that might just be me hoping that things really are going to change, but I think there is something rejuvenating them. Sure.
Keep us strikes through. Deployed barrier.
Loading new magazine.
Wildcard, the only thing I'm a little bit worried about is that they chose to start attack. This is Lycus's map. If they're not able to come away with at least 2, that is very worrying. But of course, you know, they got 3 rounds to do it. Wildcard Queens starting with the CC overtake. Got Dokubi here outside East, who almost takes a couple shots from, I believe that's Minnie, who's playing right around that doorway on the reinforcement, just keeping the catwalk player at bay. Mine's going to fall off, actually, and trade with Impala, who's now just going to entry top East. The Malusi's there. The Malusi's there. She doesn't peek. Instead, she rips the head off Mine, who's playing the window. A poor entry attempt, as there's a follow-up from Minnie falling back into the bomb site. She gets away scot-free. Kaz not able to catch the Echo rotating from Office back towards Fountain. Mari lives with about half HP. Fountain wall attempting to be opened. It will be. There's no mute jammer on it. But now Minnie can just tuck in the corner and wait and waste time. Or sorry, that's the Echo. That's Mari in the corner. Minnie has already escaped.
I don't know. There is a drone Office, so believe they would have eyes on Cass. Exactly know the coverage of it. You need a kill at this point. A lot of times when players die, you can kind of trade that death for positioning. That really didn't happen for Queens. They just traded those 2 deaths for the ability to be in offices, be in East Stairs, and actually misses the shots onto the yokai, and you lose your life because of it. Now Julie Bully, 0-2, so close to ripping the head off of Minnie. It's a flawless to counter the only round currently won on this map by Wildcard Queens. They're going to take their timeout much better than the previous timeout that they took. Now they've got about 45 seconds to discuss what they want to do for these remaining 2 attacking rounds, which you stated they need to win at least one of them.
Well, at least the timeout's earlier. Only down 3-1 instead of 5-1. You have 2 players positive on Wildcard. That's better than we've had previous couple maps. Thank you for the encouraging words, Tyler. We saw another instance, I guess, of there just not really being any info. Like, Minnie was playing that position the whole time. Mm-hmm. Why do we have the Capitao just trying to walk it? Like, against a Banshee. She could have very easily been swamped. She wasn't. Very easily been swamped. They didn't have anyone come in from the other side of top east to try and pressure. They didn't have anyone come up the stairs. And then Cass is the only person in office fighting essentially 3 people. She was worried about the long angle for Bray. She was worried about the Echo, who she kind of gave a hole Fountain. And then she had to worry about the Mute, who was around the corner from the breach she opened on the radial wall. Again, a lot of disconnect from Wildcard Queens right now on their attacks.
5 seconds left.
You know, sometimes you can get away with disconnect on the defense just because the defense can't do it. You gotta be in sync. We're back on Bathroom. This was 4 round 3. Honestly, this should have been a better round than round 3 with how free the site was. Wildcard just didn't spot it out. Hopefully, they have as good of an entry as they did in round 4.
Who's mainly been being the one to shut everyone down. Impala got one, as well as Cass and Spleech, who's been a lot of the early deaths. And I was hyping up Secret and saying Spleech died. That is a true iteration of the caster curse right there. Because down goes one, Mine with a trade, and now Bully!
Oh, Bully!
On the board! Woo! We got what, 1 and 18. I think is it.
Yeah.
So, all right, we can stop the clock there. Was a very good trade too because it evens things up. But as always, Lycus Fempire have been so good at their trade game that Queens are down yet again. Don't really have any utility. They've got one drone in Mine's pocket, and they do have some blank drones as Bully gets yet
another one!
And now it leaves Julie in a 1v2. Very winnable.
She's gonna have to double her kill count if she wants to win this round, but that was almost a beautiful play, but falling off that little vault spot cost her just enough time for Skylar to get away. And now both players find themselves on the bottom floor, not looking to give Bully any opportunity. They're very separated. And while that does remove the potential for trade, it does prevent Bully from being able to hit them with a 1-2 punch. It's a risk-reward kind of play here. And they know with time starting to get low, being separated is typically the better call. Bully does not have case in hand. It's outside. Go ahead and go collect it. Verticality not really finding anything so far. Again, these two players so far away. Waiting for Bully to drop. 35 seconds now remaining. There's still a C4 for Panda as well that she could chuck in from Workshop as the Zoto canister goes out. Bully drops. Skylar likely now hearing the vault. They've got pings. Got info. She's got to worry about this tuber out covering the cross. Now spotted. Panda sending some shots her way. Bully is 1 bullet's worth of HP from the powerful DMR in this Tuberow's pocket. They've got pings on both players, but Bully forgets that Panda is prone on the bomb chassis, and it's another round for Lycus.
Wasn't it a pretty basic round too, Harrison? Like, wasn't anything awe-inspiring from Wildcard Queens. It's a round where it's close because they won some of the gunfights compared to none of the gunfights. Really, compared to round 3, I think round 3 is the only one where utility helped some. It was mainly Impala on the glass who secured the round for Wildcard Queens, but the smoke, the idea to rush in and get the plant down as quick as possible is the only real instance we've actually seen Wildcard Queens have their utility and it work out in the end. I mean, we are only working with 2 rounds here. So, like, there's not a big sample size. And I think swapping off of the rush operators, no Amari, the Glaz, the Blitz, is probably the best option because it's not going to work twice. You are not going to have somebody sneak through that double door and get the plant down. With the Clash, now you've got the Goyo as well instead of something like a Tachanka, which is going to work better, I think, with the style of play that Lycus Fempire have. A pretty basic round by both teams so far, utility-wise, but Wildcard Queens still, they struggle to actually use that utility that is still basic.
Really want to see Wildcard properly deal with this clash. We mentioned before, I mean, they have the tools. We're in a very good position to deny. Now you have the Nomad as well. They didn't have in that first round against Clash. Hard breach charge going out. It's also a much less aggressive defense from Lycus than we've seen so far, even though Bully is 1 HP. Armory, they were in the face. Every Armory defense so far, they've been really in the face of Wildcard. On vents, they just got caught out by a rush, but every defense other than that, they have been hyper aggressive, so it's kind of interesting to see them peel back and play much more reserved on this verticality. The Wildcard Queens are going to attempt to clear out, but again, this Clash is just harassing them, and almost half the round has expired. And now you've lost the opening.
Are we making any adjustments? Secret over by Archives. I think Bully is still in CC. We've been here for about a minute, and it's we're doing the exact same thing. Lycus Fempire don't have to do anything. They don't have to make any adjustments. They just use the defense, use the time, and it's like it's a free win. Like, Wildcard Queens now have to win this 1v3 to stop a 5-1 scoreline, which would allow Lycus Fempire to go on the attack with 2 rounds away from winning the entire dang thing.
I mean, oh, nearly an opportunity there. Air jab, not going to catch Flash, and guess what? Falls back to the bomb. So many opportunities there for Wildcard to deal with her. She was playing so forward with not a whole lot of help, especially after Spleech rotated away. You know there's a clash. Why is Secret on the other side of the map? Why is Impala the one holding flank instead of helping Mine with the clash?
10 seconds.
They have the tools.
Yeah,
They're just not using them. And time's gonna run out. 5-1 split for Lycus. Wildcard continue to just not be able to figure things out.
I was hoping that with the 3rd map, that this would be the last chance for the core of things to change. Clearly, it's not. This is the exact same Wildcard Queens team that we saw on map 1, that we saw on map 2, and now limping their way through map 3. They got the 1,
Attackers need to
but
locate and defuse as many bombs as they can.
not a lot is inspiring both us as the casters and Wildcard Queens to get anything done, to get any wins. They're on the defense, probably the last side swap that we most likely will see in this entire series, and the last chance at something to get gathered. You got Cass on the Azami with shotgun, Impala with the ACOG on dock, maybe leaning into comfort ops is potentially the play. I would assume Mine would be on the Boss G as Vigil as well.
Attackers are moving to defuse a bomb.
Fingers crossed, Impala. Maybe a spawn peek will work.
Just to get something going. No one exposes themselves. At least she's able to get back upstairs without dying. That's a big plus. Now see Lycus Fempire with the Glaz and the Lion, as well as Grim. Aiden flushing people out. We've got a couple people on the CC side of the map, the East Stairs side of the map, while the rest seem to be kind of on this armory, on the archives rappel. Glaz is somewhere else entirely. Cass just walks at the break room door, ends up dying, but luckily Skylar gets refragged. That's the Grim. That's a big operator. Now off the board, thanks to the Boss G of Mine. But 2 minutes remaining now. Lycus Fempire still really haven't worked their way into the building.
That'd be a dirty kill if Mine was able to get it. I don't think it's going to happen, but... Still, 4v4. Halfway through the round. Impala is just playing such a dangerous game, still peeking this. Lycus Fempire should have a crossfire set up, so even if Impala tries to take these angles, you're going to have Mari on the balcony, and now Mini pushing on up as well. I know that Wildcard needs to hold these positions, but currently they just haven't had the gun skill to play solo. They have to use each other to get trades, to get crossfires, something other than just hoping that Impala, who is 5-5 and all alone, will get something done. There is Mine, a double kill with the Boss G, past 60 seconds, and now Dooley Booley is going to use the second smoke canister that she's got on the board. We'll back up fully into the site as Lycus Fempire almost pushed a little bit towards this CC and balcony area, so the hope is there, as now it's a 3v1.
Mine with her third kill, but won't get any more than that as Panda looking to clutch. Hammer in the second to last nail in Wildcard Queen's coffin. Panda knows one is just behind the Archives wall. Making sure that no one is covering the cross. Catches Bully. It's all up to Secret to keep her team off of map and match point. Panda getting the plant down, not hearing the Cade, the heavy 3 armor. She gets there too late. Panda completes the plant and wins the fight! Despite the heroic efforts of mine on the Vigil, Panda wins the 1v3, and Lycus are 1 round away.
Still just some dysfunction. 3 players alive. They knew exactly where she was. The smoke had fired a couple shots over, you know, even through a smoke canister, and yet there still just wasn't a trade set up. It wasn't... They're playing so individualistic. They're not playing like a team that has been together for months at this point. Harrison. Impala being alone, I can understand, but there is no reason that Secret should be so far away from Bully with all that context, making it a 1v1, and now you just have to hope that Secret, who has been good, would magically win the 1v1.
Going for the C4 too underneath. Like, I get wanting to try and get your freebie, but you've got no info. You've got even man count. Play the freaking site, man. You can arc a C4 over the wall into Archives. If she's playing in office there with the smoke, they can trade out. If she's playing with mine, they can trade out. But instead, she's underneath, C4ing CC. By the way, not even Armory. C4ing the CC hatch instead of helping her team. And we've seen it this whole game. Consistently, when her team needs her, she's just 5 miles away from the bomb site. Now Impala's dead. Castle, not the biggest deal in the world, but does have 5 kills, which is more than you can say for 2 other members of Wildcard Queens. Now she's gone. And you open up a hole in Archives. Lycus are now able to take that space, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot upstairs except for punch holes, not a whole lot of utility. These last 2 players on the defense work to hold firm, but one is trapped radio, and they know it. Bully has positioned herself awfully. She's completely stuck here. She does have some support, but is able to cross and down Mini in the process. Despite being in possibly the worst position she could have put herself in, she gets away. It's all down to just Cass upstairs, looking to maybe take someone with her before she ends up falling back. The more important thing here is to not die. As long as Cass doesn't die, or just goes 1 for 1, we're looking good. If she dies for free, then I'm gonna yell at her. And there we go. After this game, I'm gonna yell at her.
Harrison yells at women. Nothing surprising.
And now Bully's dead because Bleach was able to drop.
Wow.
Mine with 1. Mine with 2. The Boss G Merchant?
Yeah, point and click adventure. There's something working here. Secret doesn't have the C4, but now being tracked through the floor, she's kind of gonna have to run, stay away from the hatch. How long will Secret live? Not very long, apparently.
Oh! Another kill for mine. The team's last hope. Looking for 2 more. The Boss G so powerful. She comes from behind. The Deimos not looking the right way. Down goes Mari. Panda gets a couple of shots on mine. Now the Boss G being reloaded. Spamming come through the wall. Mine down to 1 bullet's worth of HP. Panda trying to reset. Not take things too quickly. Mine vaulting back to the window. Panda likely hearing it. Goes for the fight. Mine sees her arm for a second. Deals some damage, but the Hibana knows exactly where she is. And once again, Despite a heroic effort from Mine on the Vigil, Lycus still win the round and thus win the match, only losing 2 rounds through 3 maps.
It's over in less than 2 hours. All that drama, all the Twitter beef and admins and complete TO change.
5 seconds.
Lycus win in 3 maps. 7-0, 7-1, 7-1. I can't believe that this is the end result of everything. And to be fair to Lycus Fempire, it was theirs. Like, from the very beginning, they entered the map. They walked around it. They took these kills like they deserved it. And apparently they did. Fought long and hard, and Mine had a very good 4K all the way at the end. Almost got to double digits, but just was not meant to be. As it seems like Wildcard Queens just weren't meant to win at all. Like I don't want to kind of just nag on this team, but it's hard to defend that. It's hard to not be overly pessimistic at that.
Yeah, it was rough. Like, I mean, mine actually did reach 10 and 8 at the very end there, thanks to that 4K. But no one else went positive. Again, it's been throughout every map. There was one person who looked decent on Wildcard, and then like everyone else was dead weight half the time. And Lycus Fempire clearly firing on all cylinders, having a great understanding of what they needed to do on each and every map. It's like, it was crazy how much their playstyle changed throughout each iteration. On Skyscraper, they were very, very team focused. It's like every time they did something, they did it as a unit and just overwhelmed Wildcard Queen. When we went on Cafe, they played into aggressive utility. They stacked up shields. They had the Wamai, they had the Ward, and they were playing power positions because of that Grim Band. We would go on the border, and it's a slugfest. The gates open, and it's a flood. Like Fempire, like so many times, we just saw them walk around the map and nothing Wildcard Queens did was able to stop them. So today, despite Wildcard Queens not looking like themselves, Lycus were through and through. I don't think there's a single doubt in anyone's mind. They were the better team, and they deserve it. They're the winners. They are the women.
You have won the women trophy. Congrats. Like, I mean, overall, it seemed like there was some evolution with Queens. Like, in map 1, they lost the majority of the entry kills. Then map 2, they fought a couple more. And then map 3, they got even more. They got 4 entry kills. So maybe by map 5, we would have a competitive series by then. It like I said, it's hard to defend Wildcard Queens because it just was not them. That was not the team that went through this entire league going 6-1. Same with Lycus Fempire. It was not this team that beat Lycus Fempire early on in the season and even contended with them on Cafe. There was clearly something missing, whether it was morale, whether it just was they were completely off their game, because it wasn't like it was one person. Well, you know, Bully may have had the very bad KD throughout the entire series, but we can't blame her. It's the entire team that had the issue. And even with Secret, who for the most part had a better KD, I think you kind of said it. She was always the last one alive, so she was always able to get those kills. She wasn't where she needed to be for her team to win these rounds.
Yeah, a lot of disconnect. I think that was like the theme of that game for Wildcard was disconnect.
Yeah.
You didn't have a whole lot of people doing the same thing at the same time. A lot of times when they're getting picked off, it's someone just alone somewhere on the map. You highlighted Secret kind of being across the map, most defenses. Yeah, that's it. Not much else to say in a game as quick as that. We've got the interview ready. It looks like we are going to be talking to, unfortunately, the only European out of the 10 players here in B, seeing as this is the Woman League. I will pass.
Yes. So, hello, Mari. Take
Hello.
A nice victory sip. That was a
An
game.
experience.
Yeah, that was definitely something. So obviously, you guys played them last weekend. Was pretty defiant too. I think it was 7-3, 7-0. Did you kind of prepare with anything, look over the game, or was it just kind of scrims and we already beat them once, we'll beat them again?
It was more so like we know that they don't really adapt to stuff. They're a very rigid team. They don't know like properly how to adapt to things, but it's also down to the fact that they have a very limited map pool. Like in the group stage of it, they played like 2 or 3 maps, and one of them was Max OT, I think. Like they only played Club and Chalet pretty much. So if we just took them to any other map and played our game, because realistically, like in the group stage, we made a massive mistake going to Club. Because it's genuinely probably not our best map. We are very good at having individual initiative with things, and on a map like Club, it's very like forces you into doing certain things. So overall, I think it was just that we could play our game better on a more free flow map, and it kind of didn't help that they took us to our 3 best maps as the first.
Yeah, I mean, Harrison and I kind of said that if we got to the 4th and the 5th map of Bank and Consulate, maybe there would have been a difference. Like, we would have potentially seen Queens do a lot better. But, I mean, we got this result. Did you expect everything here for them only to win 2
I'm
maps
going
or
to be honest.
3 maps?
I expected the first map result because we played Wildcard Queens, including like this map.
Yeah.
We played them 3 times on Sky. We ran them both like all the time. The first map we played them against was in the quals thingy of Harmony, where we 7-3'd them, and they were playing with a sub, but they won more rounds with the sub than they did with their main.
Is it on Skyscraper?
Yes, it was on Skyscraper, and we had a far worse 5th there.
Damn.
So, I would say probably just not ideal that they don't know how to play most maps. I would not shade wise, just as far as I know from them, they don't practice much.
Yeah.
So
All spade is spade.
yeah. And we try to practice a big variety of maps. Midway through the season, we picked up a coach to start helping us. Rin47. He helped us a lot throughout. Yeah. And he's really helped us build our map pool overall. Shout out to them. They're gutted. I love Rin.
Yeah, Rin is a very good friend of mine. So I've definitely kind of unofficially been keeping in touch with you guys, just kind of asking how things have been going. But so this is done. Obviously, Project Harmony is not coming back next season, and everything Futuron has been silent. There's been hubbub about other women's league, Lycus potentially making one, Blitz. Are you guys going to stay together and play in more women's leagues? Are you planning on kind of venturing out to other leagues? What does the future look like?
So far, as far as our thing goes, before this team, I was playing EU. I've only played NA for women's stuff. Season before this, I was playing with Goddess and Marim. This season, and me and Skylar made a team. It would be that we're gonna stay together, most likely. There's no reason for us not to right now. We are actually starting tomorrow. We're playing Mukbang League, and we're going to at the start of next year. I'm going to try to relocate to NA so we can start going for higher level leagues and start practicing properly to go for stuff like Element or the Challenger Series. And it will be definitely from the rumors. Hopefully there'll be plenty of stuff to play.
Yeah, there are definitely some rumors floating about. We'll see if they happen. But you have the floor now. I'm going to give you time to give shout-outs, say whatever you want as the victors of, I guess this would be the Phoenix Final, Project Harmony, whatever. The floor is yours.
Okay. So, follow Yabdeka on X. But, except from that, I would like to say thank you to Lycus for the entire time. They helped us through everything. We first initially only looked for an org to pay an entry fee, but they've genuinely shown so much support and so much more than what I had with previous orgs, and they've genuinely helped out so much and been so nice to have. They've been very they've let us do our thing, but they've also still been watchful enough to still be intact. In contact, sorry. And I just say, probably, if you want to see stuff we're playing in, follow us on Twitter. That's it.
Yeah. Mukbang League. You heard it here. That's when they are doing. I think you said tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow. So if you want more women's siege, or at least a women's team, Mukbang League is going to be your destination. Thank you so much for giving me an interview, and congratulations. I said it with Harrison. You guys absolutely deserved it.
Yeah, thank you. Bro, you're cringe.
We're back.
Harrison, we're back. We're done.
We're done. That's it. We're done. Woman time is over. If you want to keep up with the Crucible's normal stuff, because we're going to be running that league soon, make sure to follow the Twitter. I believe is the Crucible GG. Let me double check. Yes, it is at the Crucible GG. Go ahead, follow them. We're going to have qualifiers, I think next month, starting 4th. January 4th is when Crucible qualifiers start. And of course, we also got to shout out Element. Go watch Element.
Yes, we'll be there. Maybe.
Element is coming back on the 11th, I think, is the next play. Hold on. Wikipedia check. Yeah, next play date is the 11th, and then we come in on January.
No,
I don't remember.
League technically, but we're cool. Harrison and I are cool. You should watch us cast.
Is that not we may or may not be. We may or may not be there for phase 3. So, Crucible, Element. We love women. Good night.
fighting. Secret has to hold this. Can't let the plan get down. Has to survive for 8 more seconds. But it's going to be Adriella going down. It's only a 1v2 now. It was stopped.
He makes it a 3v2. Oh, my God.
He gets traded out for it, but Mine finds Kato. His Wildcard 1 round away from tying it up. Mine still in a roll. They're about to be face to face. Who will win the gunfight? It'll be Mine for a 4.
And there goes Panda. The coverage from below. Mari sprinting, caught and dead. Aptal's got to get out of dodge. They take the fight.